The CEO of Saber Interactive, the company that developed Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, Matthew Karch, has issued a very, very interesting statement about the state of the video game industry and what he set out to do with Space Marine 2, mainly get back to that old school feel. Not only did he claim that he was trying to get back to that old school feel, but he condemned a number of his peers for trying to push woke messaging in video games, especially at Embracer. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And you read that title right. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 developer admits games at Embracer made him want to cry with their overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers. He did this in a comment on a video of the Asmongold YouTube channel, where Asmongold reacts to legendary drops as Space Marine 2 is a reminder of what we lost. Karch made his opinion clear. He wrote this. Hey man, CEO of Saber here. I love your videos. When we cited the deal to make Space Marine 2, all I wanted was a throwback game. We had the chance to work on something which by its nature was old school. I can't even comprehend many of the current games that we play these days. They are too complex and too much of an investment. We worked on Halo back in the day, and the game would be distilled down to the simplest of shooting loops, but it was entirely addicting. That is what we wanted to recapture. He then shared his hope that Space Marine 2 and Black Myth Wukong are the start of a revival in the video game industry to get back to fun and immersion. He said this: I hope that games like Space Marine 2 and Wukong are the start of a reversion to a time when games were simply about fun and immersion. He then lamented the state of the video game industry. During his brief time as chief operating officer at Embracer Group, he said, I spent some time as chief operating officer at Embracer, and I saw games there that made me want to cry with their overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers. We just want to do some glory kills and get the heart rate up a little. For me, this is what games should be about. So that is exactly what he posted. You can see it right here. This is the Asmongold video. We're on Asmongold's YouTube channel. Space Marine 2 is a reminder of what we lost. Asmongold reacts. You can see it is the number 2 comment here, posted 3 days ago. Now, obviously, people do have some concern on whether or not this account is authentic. I'm of the belief that it is. I don't think there's anything saying that it's not, because if you go to the account here, you click through, it does indicate that it was created in, let's see here. You can see here, join May 24, 2024. So it was created this year. I think that was when Embracer went private, where Matthew Karch purchased it from Embracer in that sale. Took it away from Embracer. I think that's around the same timeline. So I think that does add up. Obviously, 132 subscribers, doesn't have any other videos or anything like that to see if that is him. But I don't think that there's anything that says it's not him either. I think at least agree that it looks like it is him. I think a lot of other people seemingly think that it is him as well. You can see in the comments here, everyone is kind of thanking him, believing that it is him. I don't understand why anyone would create an account a couple of months ago and just pose as Matthew Karch to make this post. That seems a little bit ridiculous to me. So I think it's him. We'll see if it isn't him, if there's anything that comes out about it. But I think this is legit. I think this is something that a lot of people, I think, have been reaching out to people behind the scenes. I've had people reach out to me. We've obviously seen people have been reaching out to Grums. They are tired of this stuff. They're fed up with it. And it looks like we have a CEO of Saber is seemingly on the side of gamers, wants to sell the game to gamers, making comments in favor of gamers. And I think this is something that the video game industry needs. It's something that we don't usually see in other forms of medium, such as films and television shows. But I think because the video game industry, there are so many different developers and things like that, where there's so much more competition. It's not all coalesced among 4 or 5 different companies with their little subsidiaries. We are able to see people like this make statements and can show the power of players' wallets, of gamers' wallets. We have shown that we will not purchase woke video games such as Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, such as Concord, such as Dustborn. Those games are going to be left to die. Even Star Wars Outlaws has very soft sales. Gamers are not interested in purchasing those games. They are interested in purchasing games that do give them that old school feel, that are going to leave the messaging at the door, that are going to give them games that they can have fun with and be immersed in the lore. Obviously, for all intents and purposes, that does indeed look like what Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 has done. You can look at the reviews, the user score of On Metacritic, it's at 80 from 440 reviews. It has 341 positive reviews across PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox, 48 mixed reviews, and just 51 negative reviews. On Steam, the game has very positive reviews from a total of 53,085 reviews, at least when I wrote this this morning. Some of the top reviews praise the game for its old school feel. This was the top review when you go there. Not sure if that has changed or not, but this was from Fattest Falcon, and he wrote this. This game feels like it was made in the mid-2000s, early 2010s, but like in a good way. You have this guy Broken with the, I'm not sure what language that is, but he wrote this. What a good game. It's simple, fun, and epic. If you don't know anything about Warhammer 40K, this is a good introduction. If you are already a fan of this universe, you must have this game. Honestly, it might be my game of the year. The Emperor Protects. And then he added this. Personally, I like that the campaign wasn't so long with filler and tedious missions. It was intense and focused, something rare these days. And yes, for now, it does not have much content, but that doesn't worry me because the content can be added later. It is the quality of what they presented to us that can make it game of the year. They have a solid game on their hands. My first impression is that this work shows passion, detail, and love for the franchise. And the first impression is what is worth the most. We also had this one from Miner95. The campaign is epic. I just wish that it would run better. It looked good. It looked good for sure, but extremely CPU demanding, and I really can't see where all of that CPU power goes into. So Saber, please, more optimization, please. You then listed a number of positives and negatives. Gun feel good. Melee and execution are satisfying. Look good. Can only carry two types of guns, a primary and a secondary, and then CPU hungry. So like I said, looks like the game is being well received by gamers. I think this comment here from Matthew Karch is only going to help things out, even if you get the likes of Kotaku and the media games journalists, the woke media games journalists kind of blasting him for this. I think that will only spur more people to play this game, to purchase this game, to check it out. And people are indeed playing it, and they have indeed purchased it. Let's take a look at the SteamDB charts here real quick. Here we are. You can see that the all-time peak was 7 days ago, 225,690 peak concurrent players. The last 24-hour peak was 161,811. And as of right now, there are over 106,238 people playing right now. So that does indeed look like this is doing really well. I expect that word of mouth will continue to increase purchases for this game. And like I said, I think Matthew Karch's comments here will also spur people to purchase this game as well. So looking like things are going well for Space Marine 2. Unfortunately, the game that they licensed from, Games Workshop, the company they licensed from, Games Workshop, has gone woke. Maybe they will learn something from Space Marine 2 and they will kind of cut back on all of this nonsense, but that does not look to be the case as they look to get in bed with Amazon for the upcoming film and television shows that they are working on with Henry Cavill. Obviously, embraced a lot of that stuff with the female custodies, gaslit their hobbyists, and have since doubled and tripled down on that now with blog posts as well as a Warhammer Plus animation. So hopefully they will get the right message from Space Marine 2. Maybe they should be talking to Matthew Karch on how to create a solid Warhammer 40K story instead of maybe consulting with the current people that are making animation over there and making decisions about the female Adeptus Custodes at Games Workshop. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.